Hey, it's Jane Smith from the Compassion Project. I am super blessed to have Vanessa Jay on with me today. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this amazing girl. Vanessa and I met in November in Toronto at a leadership conference that we had both earned, and we were excited to be there. And we actually ended up being roommates.
That's true.
Lucky Vanessa got to sleep with me. But I'll never forget that night because when we went to bed, we talked until like 2 a.m. about life. And I just was blown away by this girl. Not only how beautiful and positive your mindset is, but your energy, Vanessa. You're an incredible person. And I know you have a lot to offer. And so that's why I'm excited about this, because during this time, like what we're all going through, a lot of people are struggling, fear and loneliness. And even though Vanessa comes across as very positive, and we all struggle. And that's one thing I know is every single one of us has our own struggles. And 10 months ago, she left a really toxic relationship, which has been really tough for her. But I think, as we've been talking, that Vanessa is using this time of social distancing and self-isolating as to heal almost, right? Okay. And yeah, and she's resilient, she's beautiful and full of life, and I adore you. So I'm so excited for you to share how you're getting through this time as a single woman and healing, using it as a time to heal.
So
right?
I've shared a little bit about my relationship before, and finally last July I said enough is enough. This is just breaking me apart, and I finally pulled the plug and I walked away, and then I just like jumped all into my business and into my life and into my things and anything and everything that I could do to take my mind off of this 5 years.
5 years is a long time, especially if you love someone, but then there's a point where you realize that it's not healthy, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, unfortunately, and sometimes I look back and I think, did that really happen? Was that really him? And he was a narcissist. I was in a narcissistic relationship, and honestly, it was my first one. I didn't know what that is.
Yeah,
that was. And then when I started to understand what was going on, I decided to walk away. But it's not like a regular breakup. You know what I mean? A regular breakup it's a little bit easier, not necessarily easy, but a little bit easier to get over. This has been long, and I jumped into anything and everything that was just going to keep my brain busy.
Yeah.
And then I hit a wall in the middle of the winter, and I just hadn't allowed myself some time to just heal,
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at, which is great. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, it's still pretty fresh. Like 10 months is not, you have to give yourself time to heal, especially if you had hope for the future. You know what I mean? Like so you have to be able to heal. But so before this whole social distancing, you were working in the service industry.
That's right. So exactly. So I spend my days at home working online, and then at nighttime I work in the hospitality industry. I actually stepped down from management, and I'm a server at my age of 44, but I'm not shy. I absolutely adore it. I've been in the business for a really long time, but I've also seen a vision of what I want, and to have that freedom to be able to work online, be able to travel more. And so that's kind of my ultimate goal. And so that's that's what I do now on a daily basis. Yeah.
And you'll do it. I mean, Vanessa is an entrepreneur, and she's incredible, and you'll do really well with the business online. I know you will. So what is your biggest struggle right now, do you find? Like, I know being alone, I do feel we all have our own experience, but I feel for people that are alone. How are you managing?
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel a little bit guilty, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are having their own personal struggles with being alone, not having anything to do, feeling restless, or all of a sudden having to be everything, like a mom, a teacher, everything. I know everybody's going through their own kind of adjustment.
Yeah.
For myself, it was literally 2 weeks before this happened, where I had finally decided to go talk to someone because I was like, I don't know what's going on with me. And she had said, Vanessa, you need to just like let go and surrender a little bit and allow yourself some time. And then 2 weeks later, I was told that I was forced to go on a vacation and, but all of a sudden I have this time, and I am, for myself personally, it's just the perfect, I want to call it divine intervention almost. It was just like, this is perfect timing for me to just step back and take a time out. I think the next time I actually can touch someone will be really exciting. But all in all, I mean, my days are really, really good. I'm spending a lot of time doing things that bring me joy, and I'm learning, and, I have my group of people that I work with both online and offline. And so thank God for the internet. I mean, especially being alone. I know I'm not the only person that's alone out there. And gosh, I can't even imagine without the internet and being able to connect with people like this. It's so awesome. It's really amazing. Yeah.
I think it is a blessing right now to have a home business, because you are connected with people, and there's Zoom meetings, and it's a lot of the home businesses are a community, right? And so you feel,
absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure I would fill my, if for whatever reason that wasn't what I was doing. I mean, between all the different things that people are putting out there on the internet, I mean, what you're doing right now, the interviews, or people doing yoga classes or workouts, I mean, there's so many great things that people are doing. But yes, for me, I mean, I'm very passionate about working online and learning how, and, all the little puzzle pieces that make you better in that. So for me, it's been like just a pleasure to have the time to spend on little things that I've been meaning to for a while. So it's been good. Yeah.
And then being part of this also pushes you to do personal growth. I know Vanessa did something called the Thinking into Results program with Bob Proctor, right?
Right. So
September, was that? September?
Let me see. So I think it was in August that I was actually live, and somebody had mentioned it to me, and I ended up starting the course in August, and it was a 6-month course. I ended it, and now I've actually gone back into the material, because it's life's work. It's incredible when you start to tap into a whole different way of learning and creating results in your life. But again, there's parts of it that I need to personally kind of work on. I hate you saying, working on myself.
We only work.
Working on myself, but there are things that I want to improve. So that's my own. I
think when we think we don't need work, there's a problem. Like I remember, I was involved with a network marketing company 4 years ago. I've switched companies, but I had joined I needed to be part of something, and I didn't understand personal growth until I was like, I don't, what are they talking about? I'm good. I don't need that stuff. I don't need and then when you start to get into it and you realize your brain has actually, from things in your childhood or teenage years, is actually needs to be healed. And your brain just goes, whoa, like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, when I first started online, and last week I had an interview with Kathleen, who and I said to her, it's so funny when you start working and online, it's the first business where people say you need to read books, you need to evolve as a person. And back then, just like you just said, I said, I don't need to. I'm perfect.
I'm good.
I'm amazing. But it's crazy how stagnant you get in life, and your routines become patterns, and patterns become these really like set in stone things. And so it's very hard to break out of this mold that you've kind of created over time of just your regular daily habits, patterns, the time you wake up, when you walk the dog, when you go to work. I mean, and then to get out of that, it's hard. And so when you start to develop yourself and to learn more and understand maybe how it is, why you think a certain way, or how you created that pattern, or where that comes from, it's really interesting. And you start to become more aware and evolve. What was it in Thinking into Results? Evolve or stagnate, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the key is that awareness. when you're not aware. And I remember Tony Robbins was one of the first ones I listened to, and I thought, I don't need that Tony Robbins. This is years ago, some guy that's all positive. And then I listened to his CD in my car, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I remember him saying that that you could change the CD in your head, like is if you take out the old one with all these deep ruts of, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, or whatever things that happened in your life, and then you can put a fresh one in and create brand new. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
And then as I listened to more and more people and time went by and I kept going back to his, all of a sudden one day I was like, you can stop that negative thinking like that. You can be like, no, but you have to be aware of it.
That's
and
it.
You have to think, I am worthy. I am important. You know what I mean? Like it's super powerful.
Yeah, it really is. When you actually start to kind of sit back and observe your thoughts, or if you feel you're going a certain way and you stop yourself and say, okay, what's going on? What's making me feel like this? And instead of reacting, it's like you kind of almost have to take 2 steps back and say, and observe what you're thinking and refocus. Yeah.
So right now for you, are you finding that, like for anyone that is out there that is single, do you have advice, like do you reach out to people? Because people are busy and lost in their own struggles. We're all going through different things. And are you the one reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to connect? Because I know some people probably sit back and think, I'm lonely, no one's contacting me. They should take.
Yeah, well, actually, I've kind of been making little lists every day, because there's so many people that over time, especially in my contacts online, it's like, wow, I really haven't reached out to them in ages. So I have been spending a lot of time just reaching out, seeing how people are doing. And I had a glass of wine with someone I've never actually met face to face, but we've been friends on Facebook for 3 years, and I know she's alone. So we had a glass of wine together online a couple days ago, and I have another great girl that I'm going to be meeting tomorrow night. So it's been really fun to like make connections. Like normally we're all running around so busy, and so now it's nice to have that time to finally connect with people on a face-to-face.
And it's so important. I had interviewed the other day. I was honored to interview, but I can't even say her name. She's from Malaysia, Bamina, something like that. And she was a beautiful woman from Malaysia. I interviewed her, and something she said that really got to me was that she said people are really talking about this social distancing, but she believed it is not social distancing we're going through physical distancing, that we still can be social, that we still have the choice, and we can reach out. And she said, just like you and me, from like her and I from Malaysia to Canada, we were being social, and right now you and I are having a connection and we're talking. It's the physical distancing that we're experiencing.
I actually think that people are connecting more now than they sometimes normally do when you can have physical contact. I feel like all of a sudden people are, on the phone instead of texting. They want to see you. They want to, connect with you. Even families at home, they're having the dinner around the table all together. I mean, it's kind of getting back to basics a little bit, I think, for a lot of people. And I think it's pretty amazing. I think I don't know. I mean, I think a lot, but I think there's going to be some really interesting shifts in the way people connect with each other moving forward. I'd like to think so. Anyway, I mean, it's funny when you take something away, but all of a sudden there's good in everything, right? So I feel like in some ways we've also been given a blessing. So
well, it is in the challenging times that we grow as people. It has to be. When everything's all rosy and perfect all the time, you're not pushed to grow and go inward, and so it's a huge learning time for everyone. But anyway, you're amazing. I am so grateful for you, and I think you're doing incredible because of your mindset, and you're so positive. And to anyone that is out there that is lonely or single and thinking you're by yourself, make sure to like Vanessa says, go into your Facebook page and just message someone.
Even you know what I've been doing, because I kind of have divided my day up. I find that I will spend my morning, waking up, doing those things that bring me joy personally. I love meditation. I love to read. I love to, do a morning stretch or something or go for a walk and get some fresh air. And then I flip into getting productive and doing things that I know I need to do to either with my business or to learn or something to feed my mind. And then in the afternoon, I either make myself a great recipe or I connect with friends, or so I've kind of split my day into, you know, for myself, for my business, and then for, you know, connection and fun. And
you have like a schedule. You keeping yourself a schedule?
Have to. I feel, especially being alone, you know, I think if I didn't have a schedule, if I didn't kind of fill my days with things that kind of excited me, then maybe I wouldn't be so positive. But for myself, I mean, there's so many fun things. I mean, I actually really enjoy being by myself, so I'm okay. And, you know, getting back to, you know, that relationship, there was times that we just had some really dark moments, and, you know, there was months where I'd be alone here, just torn up, and now all of a sudden I'm this great place in my life. You know, what do I have to complain about? I have everything I need. I have food, I have water, I have, you know,
it's just being grateful, right?
You know, I'm just so grateful for being where I am now and where I'm going, and you know, what can you do? I mean, you have to make the best of it, and there's so many things that you can do for fun. There's so many free things at our fingertips, and it's good. It's
true.
Fun. Yeah.
You have to embrace it. Well, you're amazing. And I actually was going to say at the end, just because I think this is incredible, is the company that Vanessa and I are with. I just found out yesterday they're actually donating $1 million in product to the frontline workers. I thought that was incredible.
It's amazing.
Such a heart-driven company. So if anyone that is listening does know someone that is a frontline worker, they can get $100 worth of free product. It's just, I don't know exactly, they put together a package, but reach out to Vanessa or me, and we can.
You can submit the names, and hopefully they get chosen. But I think it's amazing. Our CEO has really stepped up in the way she's doing business, and she, you know, she is a woman, so she's very heart-centered, and she's really coming from a really good place, and so it's pretty amazing.
I thought that was beautiful. I was really impressed. So I'm a little more focused on this compassion project and reaching out to people, but Vanessa, I'd love that frontline workers to get some free product. That would be amazing. So anyway, we're going to sign off. I thank you so much. If you have anything, Vanessa, that you want to add in the comments, any websites, or even the Bob Proctor thing you're taking, or we can pop it something into the comments that would help people.
Sure.
Meditation apps or anything that you find helpful.
Okay, I'll do that. No problem.
Okay.
I think if anything, I mean, right now, I shared last week an amazing mindset group I'm a part of, but also too, I know if anybody was looking to change some results in their life, I can definitely put them in front of the right person for a free consultation, and they can decide if it's for them or not. So yeah. Good.
Okay, well, you and I'll have a glass of wine one night. We'll do that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, thanks, Vanessa.
Okay, bye.
Bye.